Autopilot? Got it. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time out of your evening or day if you're on the West Coast. I really think that being on these calls and Zooms is really one of the most important things that we could do for our business, because I think we all know the more you learn, the more you earn. So thanks for joining us today. And we have a series I'm really excited about, as most of you already know that, and I'm super passionate about it. But before we do that, we had an awesome April. I mean, usually the months that have that extra day turn out to be really good. April was just incredible. So I want to do some quick shout outs. So if there's someone on your team that earned tracks, made a promotion, or hit a new gem level or something like that, let's just shout them out real quickly, because we have some guests lined up and a lot of stuff going on tonight. But I know that Donna, you have some great successes on your team. So let's start with you. Oh, you're muted. Unmute.
Here we go. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm so excited to see everybody. Oh my goodness, this is great. I am in my grandson's bedroom. I'm in Georgia visiting my daughter and her 4 kids for the week. So you see the trophies in the background. I'm in Benny's room. I need to give a huge shout out to Kristen Klinger. She is on fire. She has been with me, or been a consultant with LifeVantage for 2 months. She hit SC2, she hit Sapphire, and 2 tracks. So I'm excited for her growth. She is unstoppable. She is, you know what? She's in activity because she is calling me and texting me every day for 2 months. So that's what it takes. That's what it takes. She gets no's. Listen, we don't always get yeses. She gets lots of no's, but she keeps going and going and going. So shout out to Kristen Klinger. She's amazing. And of course, our sweet, lovable, adorable, beautiful Belkis. Belkis got 2 tracks last month. She is still rocking and rolling. And, you know, both of them really signed up a lot of consultants. So we hope to help them grow and see their names next month. And we're going to keep it going. So thanks, Lindy. And thanks for this training. I'm excited about this.
And I think Haley made
Haley
Sapphire.
Atwood,
Right?
Haley Atwood. Yep. Haley Atwood made Sapphire. Absolutely. I'm sorry about that. Yes, she did. Yep. Yep.
And Noni.
And
And Noni made Onyx, right?
And Noni made Onyx. Noni made Onyx.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yep. That's from Belkis. Yep. 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 And
Anyone
she's one
else
of
have any?
Noni is one of the ones that we're going to be watching next month, because I think she's going to really, we'll hear her name again too. Yep.
Good. Anyone
Yep.
else with some shout outs? Anyone on your team that you want to recognize?
Well,
Hey,
Maria's always
guys.
doing great.
Hey, Sherry. Who said that?
Malchus was talking. I was like, ah. So I
said I want to shout out to Maria. She's always out there talking about it and speaking to everybody she can.
Okay. Thank you.
I just want to give a shout out to Holly. She made SC2, ended at like 7,500. I'm like, yes, 10,000 baby this month. So I mean, everybody's doing amazing, but she's just off the top of my head right now. We just got back from an event, so
Great.
good job, girl.
Really enjoyed meeting her last weekend. Congrats, Holly, if you're on. I'm not sure if I see her, but congrats, Holly. Anyone else have any promotions that happened in the month of May that you want to give a shout out or congratulate? And remember, even if they're not on, we're recording. So if you want to mention someone.
I'll mention Kristen Bailey. Kristen got
Whatever you want.
she got 4 customers, 1 consultant, I think, or 5 customers, 1 consultant. Yeah. So Kristen Bailey, great job as always.
Quick shout out to Sherry Williams and Amber Nicole for getting their very first consultants, each of them over the last couple of weeks. So That's always fun when you have your very first consultant.
Absolutely. That's great. Anybody else?
Oh, I want to shout out to Anna Alfred. She also got her first customer, which is really good because she just started. So
Okay, great.
shout out.
All right, if there's no more shout outs, we will go ahead and get started. And I'm going to share my screen and kind of go over a couple of things first. And then normally we share the stories on the front end. We're going to kind of share those on the back end. So let me just share my screen and make sure that everyone can see that. Is everyone good there? Can you see my screen? Somebody let me know.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So, as I mentioned, I'm just really excited and passionate about the topic of belief. Because you can have all the tools and the systems and the resources and the training guides and the calls and Zooms. Oh, hey, if everyone can mute out, that would be awesome. Thank you. So you can have all of these things, but if you don't have belief, none of it will work for you. Belief is defined as a state or habit of mind in which trust and confidence is placed in some person or something. So really belief is your mindset. And the good news is if you don't have belief in something, you can build it. Just as our faith increases with knowledge, so too our belief can grow and we can grow our beliefs. So this series is about building belief in 4 areas. And let's see if I can change that slide. So the 4 areas are going to be obviously tonight, belief in the company. The next, belief in the products. The next Monday is belief in the company. LifeVantage is a very different from other companies, and a lot of us came from other companies, so we can tell you that by experience and from experience. There's a lot of network marketing, direct sales companies out there with a lot of products and services and comp plans and events, but clearly some are inferior. And so we're going to go over what makes LifeVantage different. So that'll be next Monday. And then later in the month, we'll cover belief in the industry of direct sales and network marketing. And then finally on Tuesday, May 28th, and mark that on your calendars because Memorial Day is the 27th. So we're going to move that one to Tuesday, the 28th, same time. And that's belief in yourself. Oh, that one's huge, right? We all get stuck there, or at least we have at one point or another. So set your reminders and join us for the next, join us for every Monday, really, not just for these. Okay, so belief in the products. Everyone is different. So some people need to hear from you that a product works. Okay, if you're talking to somebody about a product, and I can just simply say, look, I don't know what's in it, but since I've been drinking this liquid collagen, I had knee pain, wore a knee brace once a month, all the time, and now nothing. I mean, literally my joint pain is gone. Sometimes that's all it takes. Okay. Others, and either who you are or who they are, they need to do a lot of research first. So they have to have all that research before they build their belief in the products. Some will need to use the product for a specific length of time before their confidence is really confirmed. But a lot of times it's really a combination or maybe a little bit of each. So first and foremost, to build your belief, it sounds a little obvious, but to build your belief in the products, use the products, be a product of the product. Just as you would have a customer use a product for 90 days, you do the same. So, certain things like if you haven't tried the hair care, try it, use it, put it on subscription for 90 days. I have a really fine hair and I never wanted to use like conditioner on my hair. I thought it made it flat and all of that, but I love the LifeVantage conditioner. My hair is healthier, thicker, and my hairdresser is actually on tonight. So she can tell you that my hair has changed since I've been doing the collagen and the hair care. So that's awesome. That's a amazing product. If you want to drop a few pounds or maintain after losing weight, take the fat burn for 90 days. I swear by this product. Again, be a product of the product. We have fabulous products, and I know that we all have our favorites. You know, a lot of us are obviously on Protandim, and we're on liquid collagen, and we're doing Axio, but there might be a few things that you really haven't tried or don't know, you know, that much about. So that is number one, is just being a product of the product. And then, you know, learn one or two things, a little bit about each product. I think this is where people get stuck. You don't need to know it all. Trust me, I don't know it all. I love the way Christy can explain the Protandim, and she's got the cellular circular fingers going on, and I mean, the stuff that rolls off her tongue is just incredible. And I think about that, and I'm like, I could never explain Protandim that way. She's a scientist. She's brilliant. But you don't have to, okay? Everybody's different. So learn one or two things. Don't feel like you have to know it all. And if someone asks a question you can't answer, just simply tell them you'll get back to them. Hey, I'm really not sure, and I want to be sure. So let me find out and I'll get back to you today. That's all you have to say. Don't be embarrassed to say that. Don't try to make something up. But know a little bit about, you know, Protandim, Nerve 2, the only supplement shown to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in just 30 days. Oxidative stress is cellular damage caused by free radicals. I mean, that much I know. I don't know everything there is, but I certainly know how to get that information to people. Our liquid collagen has 10 types of 10 types of naturally derived collagen peptides. And that's a good thing to know. You don't have to know everything about the collagen. Axio is a nootropic supplement, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients. So just know a little bit about. You know, I brought people on where they're like, well, I don't know enough. I feel like I don't know enough. And I get that. I mean, you really want to learn and know as much as you can, and that's all good, but you don't have to know it all to get started, okay? And you don't have to know it all to build your belief. So a couple of other things you can do to build your belief in the LifeVantage product is utilize the resources. Your shopping site, the hub, Vitality Rocks, your shopping site, every single product on our site, when you go to that page, as many of you know, you've got videos, you have the frequently asked questions, you have PDFs of the product PDFs, the ingredients, just all kind of very specific things on every single page on every single product. So don't forget about that. I think sometimes we forget all that information's there, but it is. So utilize that. Also utilize the hub to build your belief in the products. You can go to the hub and just click on where it says products, and all the latest different things that have been on Facebook, on the LifeVantage consultant pages there. And then, of course, this is huge. You guys, Vitality Rocks, as Christy and Angie have been telling us and remind us all the time, this is just the perfect place to really build your belief in the products, because that page is all about testimonies. It's all about the products and how they've helped people. So if you want to build your belief, hey, do these products really work? Spend some time scrolling through Vitality Rocks and you'll come away going, wow, that's really something. The next thing you can do, like I said in the beginning, is share your own testimony. Like, what are some of the things that you know you feel that have helped you with the products? Share your testimony. If you're new and you don't quite have one yet, you trusted whoever enrolled you, and you're just like, yep, I'm doing this. I don't want to miss out. But you don't quite have a testimony yet. You haven't been using the products quite long enough to really honestly say it changed this and it changed that. I mean, again, like the liquid collagen, I think we notice things, and I say we, Donna and I started at the same time. I think we noticed things in our hair and our skin at first. It was 4 months later until I realized I didn't have joint pain because when something doesn't hurt, you're not reminded of it. And so it took a while. So it can take a while to have your own testimony. And that's where sharing other people's testimonies comes in. So on that note, we are going to share, first of all, our brand new SC2 and new Sapphire, Kristen Klinger. She was born and raised in Miami, currently living in Palm Beach Gardens. She's a mom to her daughter, Ava, who is 17. And I love this. Her sales philosophy is if you don't ask, you don't get. That's great, Kristen. Kristen began as a pharmaceutical rep and turned her own personal skincare passion into a career in 2004, then entering into aesthetics in 2011. After building brands like Dysport and Restylane and launching product and services, she's recently launched her own aesthetic concierge consulting business. I love that. And here is Kristen with some of the ways that the Life Vantage products have changed her life. Powerful story. Kristen, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Can you see me? Oh. Hello. I don't even know how to keep this 5 minutes. I can tell you, feel confident that these products work. I agree with everything Lindy said. I always say it takes a village. It's not one way to do it. But you have to show your passion and you have to build your own story. But the good news is the product works. After making a career out of my own skin obsession, like Lindy said, I have been experiencing autoimmune type symptoms for the last like 3.5 years. I walked around with a broken back for 4.5 years. I knew I was in pain, didn't know it was broken. Layman's terms, that's, 4.5 years is a lot of time for chronic inflammation. So your body's under stress. So I had all kinds of weird autoimmune type symptoms happening that then affected my hair and my skin, which then made me really mad, right? I mean, I'm neurotic. I'm the chick that's loading up, the sunscreen, loading up everything. But what's so amazing about this product is it's not just skin deep. And when Donna, whom I've known since my daughter Ava was 5, when she finally said to me, I think you need to try these products, I was such in a place that I have access to and have tried everything and will continue to try it, anything and everything that would work, but nothing had. And so I drank it, and I can tell you that it works because my daughter started drinking it. So I then got her own subscription, but I'm so passionate about this product that I keep giving it away, but it's still working. And I will not give it away as much anymore because I'm confident that it works. And it, I noticed it in the texture of my skin because I had candida in my scalp. I had it on my face. I had it on my chest. My skin scars white. And I'm in the world of aesthetics, as Lindy alluded to, and no laser touches white. So here I am. And I'm like, I say to Donna, how am I going to stop this? I've been to every Western medicine physician. I know them all. They've scarred my skin. They tell me, Kristen, you have a lot going on. Well, yes, I know that, but nobody could help me. So I was at a point where I was like, yes, I trust Donna wholeheartedly. I know her story. I know she researches products before even ever thinking about bringing them, to use on herself, her family, or her clients. And so I knew I could trust her. And that's the number one thing for me, because there's a lot of products out there. There's a lot of garbage, and people buy it, which is crazy. So when I heard collagen, everybody understands collagen and the need for it. If they don't, that's a whole nother conversation. But, there's a need for it, which is why I added it to, my personal curated favorites. But it quickly went from, because if you understand inflammation and you understand what the NRF2 does, and you understand that oxidative stress is what's killing all of us, and then you feel it and see it. My hair is growing. I do have something here. It is not a pimple. Trust me, I know this. And so I'm still dealing with it, but it's so much better. And, you know, the wellness journey is, all of our journeys are different and nothing works overnight. So Lindy, 100%, 90 days. But if you continuously use this product, you know, like I said, it has 10 collagen peptides. So I had back surgery. It's helping me with inflammation. The candida, or the shingles rather, got in my left eye, causing trauma. I couldn't wear contacts for over a year. But then I now have this lovely candida that when I put, and I'm out of my Truly Lift, but when I put it on my eye, I can feel the inflammation soothing. And so if you understand, you know, inflammation, I knew I had a problem, so I quickly added Protandim, and the two together, I mean, there's a reason they call it the glow stack. But I'm at a place in my life, at a, you know, an age in my life, a stage in my career. I'm not interested in being a me too. I'm not interested in, you know, entertaining things that don't work. I can't even describe my obsession, how grateful I am for LifeVantage, and it all started with liquid collagen. So if that doesn't tell you I believe in the products.
I can tell you this, Kristen.
I'm out. I need a new one. This is my second one. Okay.
Yeah, you look amazing. I can tell the difference from when we first met, that I met you in Glow Salon, to now. So I know the products are working for you.
100%, and it's a journey.
Thank you so much for sharing. All right, now I want to introduce our special guests for the evening, Crystal and Mark Murdaco. They're married almost 30 years. They live here in South Florida. They have two sons, 16 and 25. They moved their family from Ohio to Florida 9 years ago because of Crystal's medical diagnoses, and you're going to hear about that tonight. It's an amazing story. They were introduced to LifeVantage about 3 years ago through their youngest son's new friend, whose mom just happened to be a consultant, and she's on with us tonight, Suzanne Robinson. So Suzanne and LifeVantage have changed the whole trajectory of their lives and Crystal's health, and everything is improving through the magic of activation, and you're going to hear about that tonight. But Crystal became a customer in August of 2021, and then a distributor about a month later in September. Crystal and Mark are really, really passionate about this. They never miss an event. They have a very powerful story. And without further ado, I am looking for them. I know they're here. There they are, Crystal and Mark. Hi.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello. Thank you for being with us. So this is my fabulous husband, Mark, which I give all kinds of kudos to after what I went through, and for holding up and supporting our family through everything. So our story starts back, our journey starts back in 2011, when just basically overnight, we had a farm up in Ohio. And so we did everything together. Husband and I were both on the fire department, EMS, and thought we knew all things health. We've been, you know, the natural ways, having our own farm and that, and raising all and living off the land. Unbeknownst that suddenly overnight, one day I woke up and I was pretty much bedridden. And it stemmed from a weakening of my vascular system in my arteries that basically overnight left my brain pretty much in a whirlwind, where I had aphasia, and I basically could see the words but not say the words I needed to get out. And then it stemmed into an all over, basically systemic, because it started with the vascular system, and I went into the world of, you know, pharmaceuticals and doctors that, you know, there's all a time and a place and a need. And I give all kinds of thank gods to the doctor that basically found what had happened to me. And he called me a week after I wasn't feeling well to check on me. And when I said I was feeling worse, he said, please come back to the hospital. If it weren't for that gentleman, I don't want to think what would have happened, because I know after I was in the hospital for 5 days with a specialist, that basically when Mark and I walked out the door, he said, you know, you need to get, at the age of 41, you need to get your affairs in order. So at that time, you know, we had 2 boys, and the boys were 4 and 12 at the time. So it was, you know, I walked in 5 days earlier thinking all was good, and walked out not knowing how long, you know, I was going to be on the planet. So that kind of steamrolled into starting the journey of a lot of medications and a lot of unknowns, a lot of sickness, a lot of pain. And it was daily. It was one complication after another, several specialists, and it was just awful. It was pretty much, you know, Mark was trying to do all things, you know, with the business and with our farm, where we had a partnership and 50-50 helped each other. And it was basically overnight, it went down to him having everything on his shoulders. I couldn't make decisions. I couldn't help. I couldn't raise my boys. If you're a parent out there, you understand, you know, the ramifications of that. If you can't get up to help your boy get dressed for school, or you can't do the dishes, or you can't make dinner just because of pain or sickness or whatnot, it's hard. And it's a lot to put on the shoulders of your loved one as well. And he had to do it all and take me to all the specialists and try to talk to the specialists where I couldn't even communicate at times. And, you know, I don't know. Well, it got so bad to the point where we had built our house. We were going to be there forever, properties for our kids, and we had to sell it because of all the bills that came in from the doctors. We couldn't afford it. And it just it got really bad. It got really bad. And I'm not going to lie, there was a lot of depression, a lot of pain, a lot of just, you know, not being able to be that parent or that spouse. Sometimes throughout the 10 years was the journey of, you know, contemplating suicide, because the pain was just, I couldn't get on top of the pain. It doesn't matter how many specialists, how many medications, it just wore my body down from basically head to toe. And I think it was a lot of toxins that it just got from vascular to skeletal to my gut to my brain. I couldn't. I had multiple surgeries. I almost didn't make it on a couple of them. It just, it's pretty hard when, you know, you're going in and, you know, my husband and young son are there and they didn't know if I'd make it out of there. So what do you do? I mean, I kept the faith, you know, kept thinking, okay, we'll try this thing. We'll try something else. We tried holistic. We tried natural. We were raised, you know, we had a family among, you know, our Amish, and we knew about the land, and I grew up on the land, but all things never got us anywhere. And so, you know, on the words of one of my specialists said, you know, maybe you need I was diagnosed with over 20 different health complications. And along with that, there was probably close to that or more of medications I was put on over the time. And I would have just symptomatic things come up with that, where it would, you know, propel us to another specialist and so forth and so on. It was like a hamster wheel. And one of them stated, you know, hey, I think because of something that you have with autoimmune, you should go, you know, somewhere where it's warmer, you know, so either head south or head west. Now, all our families in Ohio were born and raised there. We have nobody anywhere else. So we went, you know, on spring break, we took the boys to Florida, and we were here for 10 days, and it was rough. I had to fly. That was the first time I'd flown after the complication I had, and I didn't think I was going to make it on the flight, which was only 2.5 hours. It was painful. It was everything that I tried doing with my head would just cause so much pain. And many times, many medications, including shots all over my head and occipital area. I did RFAs, which were burning of nerves to try to get on top of pain. I mean, there was just a lot of medications that caused a lot of other problems. When we got to Florida, I did, after I recuperated, I did a little bit better where I could, the warmth was good. I was able to do a little more things. In that, I mean, I could get up and wash the dishes one day. I could pick one thing usually to do, you know, but any lights, sounds, music, stimulation, don't go out to dinner, don't go, you know, I wasn't really able to drive very much at the time. So it just that was the kind of life we were in. When we got back to Ohio, we kind of as a family just discussed, you know, what if we moved? What if we moved that I would have a better quality of life where we were? So it was actually put on the shoulders, and I say that, where my son was going into 10th grade. And, you know, he'd been with the kids in his class all his life. So as a parent, you know, the kids that you're, you know, the kids your kids grow up with and the families. And I basically said, hey, I can survive 2 more years till you graduate, you know, and then we can move. And he said, absolutely not, absolutely not, Mom. You know, you need this for your health. Let's go, you know, let's do what we have to do. And so that put the burden on my husband to get the ball rolling. And that's what he did. I mean, he took it all on and go ahead.
So yeah, at that point, you know, I was self-employed. I had a construction company, a fire department, the farm. Pretty much, I had to really get out there and grind the pavement and figure out what we're gonna do. So I flew down to Florida, you know, just went out on it and found a job. So being self-employed from 94 till now, and going to work for somebody is pretty tough. So, you know, I ended up doing that. I found a place to work. We were down here in, I think, March. By June, middle of June, we moved. So we got it done. We moved down here, and that's when I'll let you take over and, you know, when Colton met.
Yeah,
Suzanne.
so we were down here in 15, we moved down here. We've been down here for a few years, for 3 years. Right, was that 3 years?
Probably pretty
18.
close. Yeah.
Anyway, all of a sudden, you know, and I had a little bit better, but I had it still kicked in, you know, still the daily pain, still having procedures done, still medication, still a lot of ER visits and getting kicked out of ERs, not gonna lie. You know, I came in with a stack of, you know, my folders with all my specialists and still, you know, we got labeled, you know, and we'll have to leave. And so, I mean, when you're in that chronic pain daily, you know, and you're just looking for help or a solution, it's hard. It's really hard, and it takes a toll. And you talk, you know, about depression and different things, and it just stems a lot of it, just a lot of negativity then that even is worse when you're compiled with daily pain and chronic pain. But luckily my son came home one day and said, hey, I met a new friend at the ocean. And I'm like, oh, you know, that's good, honey. And he said, you know, can I go visit him? And I'm like, it depended on the days if I had really bad, you know, headaches and I had pain, or, you know, if I could even drive. And a lot of times I couldn't. And one day he said, can we just please? And literally his friend lived down the road. Like I'm talking not even 5 minutes away. And could I have the, you know, gumption to even get him there? And I went there, and luckily, you know, I picked up Suzanne and I said, you want to ride with me to take the boys somewhere? And she got in the car. And after we dropped him off, she says, hey, I noticed that you're not feeling good a lot. You know, do you want to have that conversation? And I think I'm pretty sure at the first I said, no. Because, you know, after 10 years, if you're sick and you're just tired of being sick and tired, who the heck wants to hear you? Nobody wants to hear you complain, and it doesn't serve you or serve them to hear you complain. It just is what it is. And let me tell you, I'd even asked my husband in that journey, would you know, let's just get a divorce. The medical bills piling up. Would it be easier if we were not married? Absolutely. But, you know, God blessed me with him, and he's like, nope, we're sticking this out, honey. We'll do it together. You know, so we just kept the fight going, and luckily we went over there. I went to see Suzanne, and I said first, told her, no, I'm not really, don't want to talk. She says, but what if something could change? What if there was something out there? And I'm like, and I said, okay, you know, because I mean, what if, but I I tried everything. I did everything. I did what I could, you know, and then, so thankfully She did a three-way conversation. She said, can I get a couple friends on the Zoom? She got on Christy. She got on Gina. I had lost a lot of hair. With one of the other autoimmunes I had, I lost my eyelashes, a lot of my eyebrows, my hair, all things, my gut. I was maybe 100 pounds, and a lot of that was I had a protruding belly that always hurt with whatever I ate or did, and it just was horrible. There was no sense going to dinner. Why? I wasn't wasting money on food that I know wouldn't stay in my body. So Christy gets on the Zoom. We all get on this Zoom, and she's like, I pour my heart out to her. I'm crying, and she just looks at me and smiles like she's doing now, and she says, it's oxidative stress. And I'm like, and at first I won't really tell you what I thought of Christy in my mind. I'm like, I paid all these specialists. I spent all this money. What is this lady going to tell me? What do I know? And she, show me a little circle, all 200, you can have over 200 health conditions all revolving around one thing. And I'm like, Then I hear a little bit more. I start understanding a little bit more. And between Suzanne and Gina talking about both of them, telling me their story and sharing, in the three-way, I was like, maybe a glimmer of hope coming through. And they're like, well, what if it would help? Are you willing to try? So what was my first call? And I'm like, hey, the things that they're recommending, and I told them a little bit about, I said, it's going to be like $200. I know we don't have that. Are you okay with, and he's like, his first thought, absolutely. What are you the bills are going to wait anyway.
You don't know if you don't try. So you got to do it. You got to try it.
So, and literally within, and I was on a lot of meds. I did it absolutely wrong. Please speak to your doctors and get confirmation before you do anything like I did. So, but I was on medications, but I was sick. I was so sick of taking medications. So my detox was heavy. It wasn't a fun one, but I had Suzanne, I had Christy, I had Jean, I had everybody circling around me and just saying, just keep going, just keep going. You'll see. And, with their faith and belief in the product and Vitality Rocks. Let me tell you, when you need to involve somebody, please have them jump on Vitality Rocks. I had so much faith. I thought, how could I not go without a migraine for one day? How is that even possible in my world? And I got on, and I said somebody was 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, 7 years. And I thought, well, what if that could be me? And I can stand here and say to this day, at 3 years, almost 3 years on products, I have not had one migraine in 3 years. Not one migraine. But I started off on Vitality Stack. I love that. It addressed everything. And of course, they were there to guide, but like, and always go pull somebody into your conversations. It's building that belief. But like Vitality Stack was my go-to. Like, I didn't understand it. I went with their beliefs and built off of that. Vitality Stack and Axio. When I say that I took Axio and my brain started working again, my brain started working. Did my aphasia go away? We cannot claim that we treat, cure, mitigate, but I'm going to say, my brain fully works now. Do I get when I get?
You wouldn't be doing this 3 years ago.
No.
This whole thing
Even
right
a year
here.
ago, and it's taken time. It's not an overnight thing, but the body you have to, declutter those cells and get your body rebooted. So it will take time. So give your body the chance and make sure to tell people that it's not, if they want an overnight thing, it's not that. And they're not ready for it. They're not ready for it. And literally the only reason I became a consultant a month after I got on, because Mark was like, saw all the changes and he was like, well, wait, what about me? And then we're like trying to afford to get 2 of us on. He's like, hey, you're feeling good. Well, I want to feel good. And I'm like, oh God, now what do we do? And there was Suzanne again. Let's have this conversation.
So yeah, belief in the product, really.
Yeah, absolutely. 110%. And when you talk to somebody, just let them know about belief. Like, what if? I'm just sharing from the heart. And what if this can make just a change in the whole outcome of your life? Because for 10 years, I just prayed and prayed and prayed and thought I'd never be able to do this or have the life that I have with my kids. My oldest son just got married. It was one of the best days of my life. Like having him, having my 2 boys getting married, and now watching my oldest one get married. I just never even thought that I would get to see or be a witness to that and be able to enjoy it, be in the music and the dancing and the evening and all the things. And it was
You
just a
look
beautiful thing.
beautiful. I loved your post. It was so wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. So yeah, so we're
It's
here.
such a great story. It's just, I think it's probably moved all of us, and we are so happy to have both of you, not just share your story of all of what you've been through, Crystal and Mark, but building a business. So we'll loop back around when we're talking about the business plan, because you clearly grasp that by building your belief in the products. Am I correct?
100%, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Belief in the product that sent me into the next gear, and I took it to the next level. And that's what we're doing now. If we can help just one person, that's what we're trying to do. So
Awesome. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Thanks to everyone. Congrats to everyone who had promotions in April. Kristen, thank you for sharing your story. And Mark and Crystal, it was so good to hear your story. And we are so grateful that you're a part of the team and you're healthy and thriving and living here in South Florida. And we get to enjoy your company and see you at all the great events. So thanks, everyone. Okay, so coming up next week is belief in the company. What sets LifeVantage apart from other direct sales companies? There's a bunch of them out there. LifeVantage is the best. Why is that? Find out next Monday. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining us, guys.